This is a review of the main events in the armed forces of Ukraine over the past week. Last week, Russia continued shelling civilian Ukrainian cities. In the outskirts of Kharkiv, a missile strike on a postal terminal caused many deaths and injuries. In Kharkiv itself, an enemy drone hit a children's sanatorium. Civilians were also injured in Dnipropetrovsk and Odessa regions. The main target of the attacks remains Ukraine's energy sector, President Volodymyr Zelensky stated once again. He expressed hope for faster deliveries of air defense missiles from Western partners. Strengthening the protection of energy facilities was a key topic of a president's phone call with the Secretary General of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Ukraine has never been and will never be an obstacle to peace, President Zelensky said, commenting on diplomatic efforts with the United States leadership. The Security Service of Ukraine qualifies Russia's strike on energy infrastructure as crimes against humanity. The service has collected evidence proving this is a consistent Kremlin policy aimed at destroying the Ukrainian people. Since the start of the heating season, 256 air attacks on energy facilities and heating systems have been documented. 11 hydroelectric power plants and 45 major terminal power plants were targeted. These strikes caused large-scale power and heating outages, as well as disruptions to water supply for millions of civilians. This week, Russian occupation forces attempted to breach the border near the village of Dehtiarske in Kharkiv region. The defense forces repelled the attack. Attempts to expand the combat zone to nearby settlements are ongoing. At the same time, Ukrainian units continue active operations in the Pokrovsk-Mirnograd area. The defense forces control the northern part of Pokrovsk, are eliminating the enemy in urban areas, and are holding defensive positions on outskirts of Mirnograd. On the Slavyansk direction, Ukrainian forces continue defending Sviatopokrovsk, where the enemy has deployed additional reserves. The border village of Andriivka in northern Sumy regions remains fully under the control of the defense forces of Ukraine. Russian assault attempts continue but have failed. Earlier, a small enemy group managed to reach the outskirts of the village and was destroyed. Reports of occupation are false. Ukrainian forces have also established control over the Kupiansk city council building. Ukrainian soldiers raise the national flag in the city center and are completing clearance operations. In 2025, the defense forces reduced the Russian army by more than 418,000 personnel killed and wounded. Ukrainian forces eliminate more enemy soldiers each month than Russia mobilizes. At the same time, Ukraine reduces its own personnel losses by 13%. Over the past year, air defense units destroyed more than 27,000 attack drones, 916 cruise missiles, and 164 ballistic missiles. 3 interception lawyers against Shahed drones were deployed. Long-range strikes hit more than 700 targets inside Russia. Total enemy losses on the front exceeded 1.2 million personnel. Last week, the President of Ukraine discussed air defense and weapons supplies with the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, General Oleksandr Syrskyi. The priority remains missiles for air defense systems. Ukraine needs additional partner contributions to programs that purchasing American weapons and missiles stored in Europe. The president noted that Russia's full-scale war against Ukraine has lasted as long as Nazi Germany's war against the Soviet Union, and that only Ukrainian soldiers are holding the front. The defense forces carried out a series of strikes against Russia's military facilities. Production capabilities of the Atlant Aero plant in Tagarok were destroyed. The facility produced attack and reconnaissance drones and components for Russian forces. In addition, strikes hit 3 offshore drilling platforms operated by the Lukoil Corporation in the Caspian Sea and the Buk M3 surface-to-air missile launcher in temporarily occupied Luhansk region. Ukrainian drones also destroyed 5 Tor and Buk missiles launchers and 1 enemy radar station in Donetsk and Zaporizhia regions. Last week, the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine approved an appointment of Mikhailo Fedorov as Minister of Defense, dismissing Denis Shmyhal. President Zelensky outlined priorities for the new minister: protecting the sky, strengthening technological capabilities to stop the enemy on the battlefield, resolving supplies issues at the front, auditing defense funding, and proposing systemic solutions to problems in the mobilization system. The United Kingdom officially announced the development of a new ballistic missile for the armed forces of Ukraine. The missile will be capable of the precision strikes at distances of up to 500 kilometers in conditions of active satellite signals jamming. It will carry a 200-kilogram high explosive warhead with an accuracy of up to 5 meters. Launches will be conducted from mobile platforms capable of leaving positions within minutes. The first missiles are planned to be produced within 1 year for test launchers. This was a review of the main events in the armed forces of Ukraine over the past week. Take care and stay safe. Glory to Ukraine!